Hello and welcome from Budapest. This is Hungary Reports from Public Media M1, bringing you the latest news from Hungary and the Carpathian Basin in English. I'm Arpad Szőci. Great that you can be with us. And we start in Gwangju, South Korea, where Hungarian swimmer Krzysztof Milak has smashed what many consider an unbeatable record held by Michael Phelps of the U.S. in the 200-meter butterfly. However, the Hungarian cut almost an entire second off it, doing what many thought would be impossible when the American first set the record 10 years ago. And still on the sports beat, Hungary has become a favorite for hosting major sporting events. The World Fencing Championships just finished in Budapest, with Hungarians collecting 1 gold and 2 silver medals. And next week, the European Maccabi Games in the Hungarian capital will feature Europe's top Jewish athletes. And the first weekend in August sees Formula One's Hungarian Grand Prix in Magyaród for the 34th time. And that race also has a knock-on effect economically for the locals.
There were fans as far as the eye could see at the Formula One Hungarian Grand Prix last year in Magyaród. There was a long line of cars waiting outside, and police officers directed traffic in the area for the entire weekend. Thanks to the race, towns nearby are continuously developing. The latest €15 million project was completed on Wednesday. From now on, Magyaród and Folt are also connected by this new highway junction. The interchange is also accessible from the M3 motorway, and it makes it easier to get to the Formula One race site. The Minister of Innovation and Technology said that everywhere around the world, car races are sporting events of major importance, so it's also important from the perspective of tourism that the Hungaroring be able to host the Formula One for years to come. We want to expand the Hungaroring's functionality in the future. We'd like to extend our current rights to host the event until 2026, which of course has certain conditions that must be met. One of them is that the racecourse in Magyaród be renovated. The plans and strategy to carry out the refurbishment have been made, the minister said. The 34th Hungarian Grand Prix will be in Magyaród next weekend. However, Hungary isn't only home to the world's most watched car race. It also hosted the 2019 World Fencing Championships. There will be 2 additional Olympic qualifying tournaments in Hungary this year. The Canoe Sprint World Championships takes place in August in Szeged, and the Pentathlon World Championships in September in Budapest. And the events don't end there. At the end of the summer, the Hungarian capital is co-hosting the Women's European Volleyball Championship, and fans only have to wait a few days for the next international competition. The European Maccabi Games start on Monday. Jewish athletes from Europe will arrive in Budapest to compete.
Migration is a security risk, and without security, Europe and individual nations will be lost. That's what Hungary's State Secretary of the Ministry of Defense said on Wednesday in Tusnádfürdő, Romania, at the Bálványos Summer Open University and Student Camp. Szilárd Németh also said that bureaucrats in Brussels continue to push for the introduction of mandatory quotas for migrants. The Hungarian government says that protecting Europe's borders is of paramount importance.
Members of the Hungarian contingent leaving for Serbia and Northern Macedonia said goodbye to their superiors together. Since 2016, more than 1,000 Hungarian police officers have served in the area greatly affected by migration. Just this year, authorities have caught more than 3,000 illegal border crossers. Recently, traffic has increased on what is already the busiest path, the Balkan route, placing pressure on Serbia, Macedonia, and the Hungarian border. Almost every day there are people who try to get across. On Wednesday, authorities accompanied 12 immigrants back to the other side of the border. The State Secretary of the Ministry of Defense emphasized that more waves of migration pose the greatest risk to security if they continue for years to come. On Monday, 14 EU countries, among them Germany and France, signaled that they are setting up a voluntary mechanism to take in and distribute immigrants from Africa who disembark in Italian and Maltese ports. Along with the French and Germans, politicians in Brussels are also forcing this, Szilárd Németh said. The State Secretary emphasized that George Soros is financing the plan in the background, and nation-states are standing in its way. George Soros is the greatest opponent of nation-states, and he is clearly financing this, since nation-states are in his way. Nation-states can only be weakened if we flood these countries with other nationalities, the State Secretary said. He added that that's why the Hungarian government represents the standpoint that Europe's borders must be protected.
The auto industry continues to boom in Hungary, with the newest vehicle production facility being announced in Salgótarján in northern Hungary by the Bumcsún company. It's the first manufacturing plant outside its homeland. The factory, which will produce aluminum jacks for electric car batteries, will also create employment for 200 people. The €41 million investment is being supported by the Hungarian government, which is kicking in more than €7.5 million.
One of the main objectives of Hungary's economic policy is that following its traditional vehicle industry period, the nation also become one of the leading countries in Europe and the world in the new, modern electric vehicle industry era. It's already become clear that the Koreans are setting the tempo for this new global vehicle industry phase.
Hungary's emergency water rescue service is busy preparing its 2 new boats for operational use. Thanks to a quick online donation drive, the Coast Guard was able to acquire the funds to purchase them. And these boats aren't just faster. They also have facilities for up to 8 patients.
The emergency vessel Rupert, belonging to the Hungarian Coast Guard, is on patrol. The 10.5-meter-long boat can reach a speed of up to 90 kilometers an hour if necessary and can handle stormy weather. It's fully equipped, just like an ambulance. 3 waterproof cases contain medicine and equipment. We're prepared for any case that land, air, and other emergency units handle. And when dealing with emergencies from the water, you have to deal with things a bit differently. You have to move differently, and you work in tighter quarters, the medic explained. Besides the Rupert, another 6 vessels offer this specialized service to bathers, and the flotilla has now been expanded by 2 boats. The new 7-meter-long, 200-horsepower vessels were obtained after an online crowdfunding drive raised the €50,000 needed. They're easy and fast. On average, small emergency services boat can reach speeds of 50 or 60 kilometers per hour. These boats can go to 80 to 85 kilometers an hour, the president of the Water Rescue Services said. The money to buy them was collected within 48 hours. More than €15,000 were donated by private individuals and companies, and €37,000 were given by the Opus Global Company and Hungest Hotels. We think it's important for our guests to feel safe and that they consider how secure things are when they pick their vacation and rest spots, and that particularly applies to foreigners, the CEO of Hungest Hotels said. The president of the company, Opus Global, that also deals with tourism, said that the business world needs to get on board with ventures like this. I'm certain that the 2 boats will be a very big help to the service and that they will effectively contribute to the success of the emergency services, the president of Opus Global said. The 2 vessels, named Kócsag or Heron and Fecske or Sparrow, will likely be put into full service this season, probably by the end of August, to patrol Lake Balaton.
The 23rd Pheasant Festival has opened in Székesfehérvár, which is about a 45-minute drive south of Budapest. It's the city's biggest music event and has been held annually for more than 2 decades. This year, more than 120 bands and performers will hold concerts on 6 stages. Among the acts are Dream Theater from the U.S., one of the world's top DJs, Fede Legrand, and for those who like solid gold hits, there's the modern talking band with star Thomas Andes. Well, if you like motorcycles, then ride on over to Híradó in northern Hungary for its annual Bike Week. You can check out all the latest in motorbikes and enjoy a parade of the very best, too. And you can also enjoy concerts and other entertainment, including a motorbike mountain climbing competition. And just like over the past 20 years, this year's event is expected to attract thousands of visitors. Well, lots of easy riders there. And that's all for now, but we'll be back again tomorrow live after the Hungarian language news at 11 p.m. And you can catch Hungary reports in repeats and online as well. Please stay tuned now if you have time for our German, Russian, and Chinese language news shows. Thanks very much for watching, and minden jót!